Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is August 4th, 2022, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, oil breaking support below $93 a barrel to $90 a barrel. And looking at the major economic events of today at 2 p.m. South African time, out of Great Britain, we have an official bank rate decision, an interest rate decision from the central bank, major news. And tomorrow, don't forget, we have NFP out of the United States. So a day before, you do want to know what's coming out. Now, looking at the major Forex symbols, they're pretty much unchanged. Looking at the indices, the NASDAQ pushing higher to 13,250. Looking at Commodities Gold, pretty much slight gain. And oil breaks lower, as mentioned. Looking at the stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook gain big. Tesla above its 200-day moving average on the daily chart. We're going to take a look at that as well. And lastly, Bitcoin unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So look at this massive consolidation. We look at the Euro USD 101.67-ish level. Not much doing there, as you can see. And so this is where, eyes are off the Forex symbols and they're back in the indices. Look at that on the GBP USD, also not much doing there. And lastly, looking at the Aussie Dollar retracing to that 50%. This is what I mentioned the other day. So if you did get this, good for you. That 50% retracement after that sell-off, it's a 50% bounce. Okay, that's where we're looking at. So I'm going to look at this 8-day average as a resistance level. So keep that in mind. That might be just a development of a bull flag where we sold off, we bounce, and then we sell off a little bit, and then we take it higher. So that might happen. So just keep an eye on this because this can still develop. Now looking at Commodities Gold, slightly higher, 1772, but we're finding ourselves in a really tight range here ever since we hit this high of 1780-ish, 88-ish level, retracing to 1760-ish level. Not a big retracement, but a retracement nonetheless. Now looking at crude oil, lower to $90.86. Now this is supportish level as well, but we're crossing over on the daily oil. That's a big deal. Okay, that's a really big deal. That means prices of oil are going to change and they're going to get cheaper again. So keep that in mind. Now looking at the U.S. markets, we're looking at the Dow Jones at 32,757, a nice little gain there. And when we look at the NASDAQ, look at that push higher, 13,241 right now. We broke that resistance-ish level. And so really, looking at this level, this is A, B, and the C. And the C is always the largest level. So keep that in mind that we may see ourselves just retracing here, maybe down to 12,500. But we're in that range, at least for now, okay, as this has pushed higher. Now looking at the individual stocks, they all went. Apple, big gap and go. Look at that, 166. It does have resistance, 177. If you look at Facebook as well, pushed higher at 168. Didn't break lower at that 155-ish level. That's really important. Looking at Microsoft, also gained some yesterday. Amazon gaining as well, pushing higher to 139. Lastly, looking at Tesla. This is also an important factor. It's crossing over in the 200-day moving average above and closing above at 922. That's an important advancement for that as well. However, I still have a little bit of questions here because if I look at Intel, it gained but didn't gain so much. I mean, it's not there. Let's look at it. Let's bring that up a little bit clearer. There you go. Okay, so it's there, but it's not really pushing it to a level where I would have liked it to be somewhere above this 40,000. Intel's a bellwether. Intel's like a leading indicator when I look at these things. So is Cisco. Cisco on the top of the range, but nothing, it's not breaking out higher to the 50s. That's where I would like it to be. So although the majors, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, all that stuff is going higher, the bellwethers, the leading indicators are not going higher. So that's something of note for now. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, pretty much unchanged, 23,124, not doing much and kind of consolidating at this area. So we are still in summer trading. This is where I would say this is the bulk of summer trading. So keep that in mind as we're going into the summer session. Tomorrow we will have that NFP. That's an important number coming out. We'll see you here tomorrow on the Daily Review. Have a good day, everybody.